Well, hello everybody. It's my 17th injection today. This is a quick update before I'm not able to post for the rest of the summer because I'll be working at my job all the way until late August. If I get a chance to film anything between then, it'll be bonus content. But I want to go over some of the physical changes I've noticed. You can see I'm in my underwear. And it's now been about 8 months on testosterone. I've always considered myself kind of a more muscular person, and testosterone has definitely enhanced that. The only places I still have like remaining anything that would be considered fat or tissue would be around the breast area or any just loose skin. But if the first thing I noticed actually was my trapezoids got really big really fast. And then my shoulders, you can see my deltoids popped out quite a bit. And that really made actually t-shirts that were small, women's small. They didn't really fit around my shoulder anymore. The other thing that changed was fat on my thighs. Definitely used to have more. Now they feel very like hard, especially on top. It's very solid. If I flex, there's a lot more definition, especially in my calves, but I feel like my calves have always been a great asset. I haven't noticed anything in my neck or anything in my traps because I haven't been working out a lot. And this is because my muscle growth is very fast. I recently got over in my right knee. I had a problem with my kneecap being pulled upwards because my right quad got too strong too fast and was pulling it, or too weak and it was being pulled down, and it was very, very painful. It's called patellofemoral syndrome. Your kneecap starts to, instead of sitting on top, it starts to rub into your femur, and that wasn't fun. It would burn when I would wake up in the morning, and it would hurt at night, and it would hurt to walk, and it would click in and out of place. But I figured it's just from growing. I'm gonna get over it very soon. The other thing that happened is I got TMJ, which is temporal mandibular joint syndrome in my right side. I still have it a little bit. It makes eating very hard. Yawning was very hard. I think it's because my jaw muscles were getting stronger. It's almost gone away now. It was really scary because it's involuntary when you yawn, and then it would just hurt, and I would have to like pop my jaw back into position, or I would open my mouth kind of sideways. And I think it's just from muscle growth. The other thing I'm still suffering with is in my upper shoulders. I think they're starting to pull on these joints a little bit, all of the muscles in the shoulders. There's so many, I can't name them all. But when I would move my shoulder this way, this kind of horizontal motion, there's a pulling, especially on my right side. So the right side of my body, I don't know if it was weaker or stronger, and it just started to mess up my joints. Something my physician warned me of is do not work out a lot when you're on testosterone because your body is going to be speeding up this muscle growth and this fat loss naturally. And if I could have really hurt myself, because of how fast my muscle grows. My arms look pretty great. I've always had a little more definition than normal, but what's really filled out is this underside because I used to have basically just, it looked like that. And I could make this muscle, but now there's this trapezoid, which is big and really nice. I love it. I haven't noticed any veins showing up yet. That's something I consider very masculine. I'll see if that happens. I don't know if my brother has any. My neck is still the same. Any fat redistribution, I still very much have hips. My six-pack is, well, four-pack, let's be real, is back to kind of like the body I had in like middle school. It's much like leaner. I've always had this little fat pouch here, call it. I noticed kind of a harder shadow over my hips. And this is what they call that like Adonis V, is these muscles here from twisting side to side. And we'll see if that gets more definition. My butt sticks out quite a bit and makes me look kind of like butt heavy because I have such a small chest, but that is all very much muscle. And it's made it a little bit harder to inject into my butt because it's going through so much density, but it does have to go into the muscle when it's injected, so works for me. It's just a little sore when I sit on it sometimes. My back it still has those little dimples, but I think men still have those. My thighs still touch. It's not like this is a miracle hormone that's gonna make you lose 20 pounds. It actually made me gain weight. I went from 114 pounds to 122, 24. My goal is to be 130. We'll see what happens by the end of the summer because I will be walking a lot. It's a summer camp job. The only thing that really annoys me is the remaining breast tissue. Like, I would have to work my pecs quite a bit. I might not need top surgery. We'll see. You can still push them together and get cleavage, but you could do that on a man too. I'd hardly wear bras anymore because they give me acne from all the pressure around here, and they just sweat, and I'm pretty small up top. But I've noticed this is a lot. It's less fat. You know, I can't see any pec muscle. I'm a big fan of these zip in the front sports bras. I think these are a great option if you don't like binders, because you can wear actually two of these, a smaller one and a larger one, and they flatten you a lot. They do have some padding which you can pull out, which I have the padding in on these because I just didn't bother taking it out. The acne on my back has gotten a bit better. The places it really showed up was here, and across my chest, which it's also clearing up. I got different meds. No chest hair yet. Leg hair is still normal. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I love answering your questions. I'll have limited phone access at my job because it is a summer camp. But whenever I get a notification, I love seeing what you guys ask. As for, I don't know when, like, you know, this process takes years. It's not like fat redistribution happens overnight. And now if I gain weight, I'm probably going to gain it right on my stomach and right in my chest, on my front, as opposed to my hips and my butt and my arms and my face. I haven't noticed any change in my hairline. I just reshaved my undercuts here. My facial hair is still as it was, just two little patches. Something I've also noticed is I can still run very fast. I feel like I'm sweating a lot more. I haven't noticed anything smelling different, but cardio is definitely improved. My last blood test showed that I have elevated red blood cell count. That is not the best idea. It's not a good thing, but it's not the worst thing because it's not like they're extremely high or I'm at high risk for blood clots because the birth control that I use is it's not one that puts me at risk more for blood clots. It's got a very low risk of that. Genital growth is still as it was from my last bottom growth update. I haven't gone up in any dose yet, so that's probably why it's still the same. I still get the problem where it's kind of puffed out, the clitoris, the phallus, and then the pubes next to it are curling in over it because, you know, men's penises, they're away from their pubes, but it's curling in and they poke a little bit. But I find that just taking a razor and pulling and gently shaving in between the folds is a great way to just help get rid of the pokiness. When it comes to sexual arousal, one of the questions they asked me in the first 2 weeks was, are you still, because I was sexually active at the time, was, are you still getting enough natural lubrication? And I was like, yeah. Why wouldn't I? Oh yeah, I guess it does slow down natural production of, feminine arousal. But still, I'm still getting completely normal from me levels of natural lubrication if I'm aroused, although I'm no longer sexually active. I know from one guy, he told me that it made sex hurt so much he stopped, and it hurt to walk because of how dry he was. I think that this is the one symptom my body has decided to skip, is having a drying out of the vaginal, labial, vulval area. It might change. It could change at any time. It can change when my dose goes up, but so far that's how it looks. Still very sensitive, but less. I'm very used to having stuff touching it now, because there's still the hood, the normal clitoral hood covering it, which would be the foreskin. But whenever I would, I adjust, I take my hand and move things, I feel it very sharply. I'm gonna be riding my bike again this summer, so that's always a fun time with genital growth. I hope you guys have a great summer too. Subscribe for more trans. See you later.